gasket that had fallen off. It was just hanging down just right there. You can see that the cement was glued down pretty well, but the gasket has hardly any cement on it. So it could have been maybe that there was water on the door, and then the gasket stuck, or the gasket cement stuck to the door okay, but there wasn't any water maybe between the cement and the gasket, so when the gasket got laid on the dry cement, it didn't actually stick. It's the only thing I can kind of think of. Going farther down, there is a couple little spots where it is stuck, but for the most part, it's not really stuck on there very well. So it just kind of comes right off. So I think in the summer heat, it's really important to make sure you get water between the cement and the door, and then if it's really dry and really hot, you need to get a little bit more water between the cement and the gasket too. The other thing we noticed, the latch here, old style Lopi latch, pretty standard. There's 2 washers, a nut, and the brass cam. Now the thing about this latch, whenever we're replacing a door gasket, these 2 washers right here should go on the other side of this latch. So I noticed that seemed incorrect. Now, however, this latch is pretty well wallered out. You can also see that there's a slight bow in it. So it's possible that maybe putting these 2 washers on the other side made it too loose. And so maybe that's just where it needed to be. It seems very odd to me. This unit's only a couple years old. Another thing I noticed, which is really surprising to me, I haven't seen a latch go out this quick, but if we take this apart, and look at this cam, the inside of it is all wallered out. Now this is a brass cam, so it's soft, right? Well, over time it can get wallered out. The flat spot in that hole, which correlates with the flat spot on this latch here, see how that's cut down, makes it so when you turn the handle, it turns the latch. Now when the brass gets wallered out, it'll just spin. So, and that's kind of what's happening. It's just spinning freely. So when you go to turn the latch, if the latch catches on something, the handle will spin, but the latch will stay. So the client commented that it didn't do it before, and now it's doing it. My only answer to that is it's just because there's a new door gasket on there, and so it's tighter, and so it requires more force to open and close the door handle. And in turn, what that does with a wallered out cam is it when it catches and then you got to apply more force, it just spins, whereas maybe before the door was a lot looser, and so maybe there was just enough catch that it would close properly. But now with a new gasket, it's not catching. And again, you can kind of see how there's a slight warpage going on. So they're really wrenching on this this door latch for it to be worn out like that in a couple of years. That's really surprising to me. So we're going to put a new door latch on there. I'm going to put a new nut on there as well. I noticed I was able to undo it just by with my fingers, which, you know, they're supposed to be a locking nut. The ones that come from the factory are brass, so they're soft, so the little locking nubs on them wear down fairly quickly. So I like to replace them with a steel one, which we've got some on the truck, or you can do another brass one. But anyways, when they just start spinning freely, they're not going to hold the handle in place, which means in turn that the handle will get loose fairly rapidly, because we're dealing with an aluminum door frame and a cast shell. The aluminum door frame expands fairly rapidly with the heat and so on and so forth. So if you don't have a nut that's keeping things tight, it'll get loose real quick, and in turn what that does is it wears out this guy a lot quicker, this latch. The more play that's in there, the quicker this guy wears out, and eventually the hole going through the door itself, the cast door, will waller out as well. There's a trick for tightening that up as well, but maybe we'll do that another time. All right. Real quick, just going to go over what we did. We stripped the old gasket cement off, of course pulled the old gasket off, put new cement, a brand new gasket. We got a new door cam and a new nut, and as you can see, or well, maybe we can't see. Oh, it's too bright. No, we can't see. Anyways, our two washers are underneath this latch where they should be. Now the latch does hit the gasket. That's perfectly normal. That happens. I do try and push that down right there as much as we can. But yeah, it's very common for that latch to just kind of rub on the gasket. Anyways, I also put some anti-seize on the shaft of that guy and the hinges. Anytime we're doing door work, whether it's glass gaskets, door gaskets, I always try and put a little bit of anti-seize on there just to keep things from squeaking and rubbing too much. Now, once that gasket's on there and it's packed into the cement, we want to get this door on the stove as quick as possible and close it, so that way the gasket is being compressed against the cement while it's drying. So we're going to do that right now that we're done.